Deadly disease is spreading among our furry best friends, and the source could be inside that dog bowl.
There's no really good answer that you can give people.
Tonight we dig deeper into an FDA investigation we first talked about in November.
Researchers say that the food you put out for your pup could actually be cutting their life short. News 5's Meg Shaw continues her investigation tonight with what you need to know before your next trip to the pet store.
Mealtime, it's their favorite time. Rushing to the food bowl, ready to chow down. But of course, they're trusting you, their best friend, to make sure what they're eating is healthy.
They can't tell you if they don't feel good.
But a major spike in a deadly disease is happening all over the country. It's called dilated cardiomyopathy, or DCM, where the heart becomes enlarged and pumps poorly. Veterinarians say it could lead to congestive heart failure.
And it can also, in some situations, result in sudden death.
The spike has prompted an investigation by the FDA, who's now looking for the link between this disease and dog foods. I first told you back in November about the FDA's investigation, that each case is being sent directly to researchers. Well, since that report, vets and dog owners alike have spread the word about DCM. And now at least 150 cases are a part of the investigation.
We're seeing dogs that are of breeds that don't routinely carry the genetic material, or of ages that we wouldn't typically see dilated cardiomyopathy in yet.
A peer review just released in the American Veterinary Medical Association says DCM first came to light in cats in the late 1980s. Researchers figured out when they added a blood supplement called taurine to their food, the diagnosis would be reversed. But with dogs, this doesn't always work because not all pups who get diagnosed have low taurine levels, like in the recent cases. So now they're focusing on nutrition, and they think beg diets may be causing the problem with dogs this time around. A beg diet is a boutique, exotic, or grain-free food. They say these types of food can include ingredients like kangaroo, duck, lentils, and peas. So this begs the question, what should you, as a dog owner, look for when it comes to dog food? Well, first and foremost,
always talk to your vet.
Jennifer Baker owns the Grateful Dog Bakery in North Ridgeville.
Good boy.
She says for the past 6 months, customers have come into her store asking, what's the safest food? And do I need to change what I'm feeding my dog? But answering those questions isn't exactly easy.
The research is showing predominantly grain-free foods are the problem, but not all. It's predominantly golden retrievers, but not all. So there's no really good answer that you can give people.
So in order to give the best advice, Baker has to read up on the latest finding from researchers, information that's coming out every single day.
I keep up with information from veterinary nutritionists that are not affiliated with any food companies. So that should remove a lot of the bias.
Baker says don't cut corners. Do your homework before buying food.
Read the ingredients. You can check recall history. Has this company ever had a recall? Do they have veterinary nutritionists on staff?
And unless your vet recommends your dog be on a grain-free diet,
look at some grain-inclusive lines, because the grain-free does seem to be a higher risk.
And
peas, beans, and other legumes. The recommendations I am reading is avoid those if at all possible, or at least in the first 5 or 6 ingredients.
As you know, dog owners, they band together and they talk a lot. A Facebook page dedicated to DCM now has 17,000 followers. It's monitored by professionals, and folks all over the country are sharing their stories. So head to the News 5 app right now. We have information about DCM, symptoms you should be on the lookout for, and a link to that Facebook page. For News 5, I'm Meg Shaw.